do women have it easier when it comes to sex? Well, a lot of guys seem to think so, especially guys who struggle with their erections or coming too soon. They feel like all the pressure is on them to make sex last. Women have plenty to contend with before and during sex. Painful intercourse sometimes, dryness, difficulty reaching orgasm, and indeed the opposite, reaching orgasm too quickly. Yep, this is a thing for women and men. Now for men, orgasm and ejaculation, they're actually two separate physiological processes. Orgasm is that intense burst of pleasure, and ejaculation is that expulsion of semen. Now for most guys, both happen simultaneously. And when guys talk about premature or early ejaculation, they're talking about early orgasm too. It all happens sooner than they would like, pretty much every time they have sex. But for women, we're talking about orgasm happening too soon. This is those intense spasms of pleasure that last for around 20 to 35 seconds. So yes, females do produce fluid, and this is sometimes called ejaculation, but it's a very different function to male ejaculation, of course. It doesn't coincide with orgasm as regularly as it does for guys. And then there's female squirting, which porn and sex gurus have hyped up into this hot topic phenomenon. Squirting is far from a regular part of female orgasm, even if a lot of guys are completely obsessed with making it happen. But I hear men ask, surely if a woman orgasms too soon, she can just hang in there and maybe she'll have another one. It's easy. Well, no, it isn't. In a 2012 research study, 40% of the 500 female participants reported that they had experienced at least one sexual episode where they reached orgasm more quickly than desired. 14% said that they experienced this problem with some frequency, and 3% experienced it so often that they regarded it as a sexual problem, a sexual dysfunction. Now, the research referred to this as FPO, Female Premature Orgasm. Now, when we're talking about premature ejaculation, as experienced by a guy, one of the main considerations is, does it bother him? If not, maybe it's not such a problem, regardless of how long he lasts. But in this study, most of the women who experienced early orgasm found it quite upsetting, similar to the feelings of frustration that men experience when they go off too soon. Why is this distressing for females? Well, there are a bunch of possible reasons. Women often experience intense sensitivity after orgasm and they need to take a break. And this is awkward when their partner just wants to keep going. This can become physically uncomfortable or downright painful, so they fear it happening and it plays on their minds during sex. And then it has the potential to become a problematic thing. Now, what can women who regularly experience female premature orgasm do? Well, a lot of the advice is quite similar to lasting longer advice for men. Masturbate, get to know your body a bit more, find the type of stimulation that really works for you, and then incorporate that more into partnered sex. Then there's the old advice during intercourse: mix things up and stop and start again, take breaks to cool down. SSRI medication is prescribed a lot for men with PE, and it has the same side effect for women too. It delays the onset of orgasm. Now, I'd suggest there are some better approaches to this for women and for men, but it is an option. But if you're female, speak to your doctor about this and don't buy tapoxetine, aka Prilogy, on the internet. Its safety for women has not been established. And a really good approach when orgasm happens too soon, for women and for men, stay with your partner. Help them to finish in other ways. A lot of intense pleasure can be given and received in this way. So there we go. FPO, Female Premature Orgasm. Who'd have thought it? Well, 40% of women for starters. And I think it's useful for guys to be aware of this and to talk with their partners about it. If you're a man who struggles with PE, here is even more evidence that you're not alone with the frustration of trying to hold on and the performance anxiety and the relationship distress. And it helps to balance out some of the most negative thoughts guys can have around this. If a woman orgasms earlier than desired and struggles with it on multiple occasions, is she any less of a woman? Of course not. We wouldn't think that for a moment. So let's not label ourselves in these terms, okay? If you have any questions about premature ejaculation or sexual confidence in general, please feel free to get in touch. And my website is linked in the description below. And you'll find lots more advice in my Bang on Time self-help course, which teaches the essential skills for managing your sexual excitement and enjoying sex for longer. And there's a link to that in the description too, guaranteed. Also remember that I'm a therapist sharing my opinions and general advice, but this is no substitute for going to see your own GP or doctor. So if you have any concerns about health or your sexual health, you should go and get a medical checkup and take some advice. Thank you very much for watching.